So it's a lazy Saturday afternoon, actually the footy grand final, and I was thinking,
Hey, sorry, editing me. I realized that my camera cut, so this is me going over what I had said, and I'll have a little photo up of when I talk about the positive things. But stay with me, the rest of the video is great. So I thought I'd do something where I go through my old positive things and tell you what I think of them a few years later. So, for those of you who don't know, a few years ago, I started this thing called Positive Thinks, and it was all about connecting with your inner child, believing in yourself, and going after the things that you want. The logo was this yellow smile, and it became pretty associated with me, and I still am really proud of it. But there's a few things that I wrote a few years ago that I would have fully believed, but time has passed. I did a lot of these in 2020, 2021 COVID times, and I was like 19, 20 when I started, and I am now 23. So I thought I'd go back over what 20-year-old me wrote and see what 23-year-old me thinks of them. All right. First one. Remember, it's not hard, just time consuming. This is a good one. This is one I still absolutely agree with. Anything you want to do is only as hard as you make it. I am guilty of letting things get really hard and kind of giving into the pressure. So anytime I just remind myself that it's only time consuming, I can get through it.
so yeah, I really do love this one. This was the first logo for Daily Positive Thinks, or as it was known then, Daily Positive Thinky starts now. Express, believe, action. You got the original design of my logo, but I used to want to call this Daily Positive Thinky. Bit weird. I like the thinks better. Alright, tip. At the start of each day, make your bed and leave your room tidy. I absolutely still do this one. I always make my bed. I have started to let it air out a bit because I actually heard that bugs go in your bed, and if you leave it under there, it creates germs. So you take the blanket off for a bit before you make it. So I started doing that, but I never leave the house without it made. That means if you have a bad day, you come home and you achieved one good thing in your day, and that is your bed being made. So that's really good. That's why I do it. All hell can break loose, and I can still be happy. I'm joking. Move with purpose, belief, and reason. Absolutely, I totally agree with this one. This one is all about understanding your purpose in any given room. Have belief that you can actually keep up with that room and bring your ideas. And reason, know why you are know why you're doing what you're doing as an overall, not just in the room, but as an overall. Have true reason. So I absolutely agree with this. It's something I'm still working on doing, but I'm getting there every day. I do Toastmasters. That's this thing that you learn how to public speak. So it's very, very cool to do. I'd highly recommend it if you want to develop your personal skills or your public speaking skills. Advice: you're never going to think you're ready, so why not act now? I agree and disagree with this one at the same time. I do agree that you're never going to think you're ready, so you may as well act now. But that doesn't mean necessarily get on stage and just perform or go and sign up to this job that you're unqualified for. It's about making plans before you act. So the action doesn't have to be doing the thing, it just has to be making the plan to do the thing. So I totally agree with this, but I want to stress that don't just act now, plan now. Act when the plan is in motion. When something isn't working, all you need to do is stop and reevaluate the situation. Reevaluate is spelt wrong. But I do agree with this one. It's hard to do, particularly after some past relationships I've been in. It's very hard to stop in the heat of the moment, but I do think it's still sound advice. Just hard to do. Alright, this one you have to read from the bottom upwards. So, above every cloud there's a blue sky. Above every blue sky there's space. And in that space there's room to think. With a trillion glistening lights singing for you to succeed. This is basically saying anytime you feel a cloud over your head, there's actually space to think up here. And then there's a whole room of unknown thought, followed by all the people cheering you on in your life. And this one, I still read it a lot of the time to remind me. I came up with that metaphor and I really liked it. Here we go. This is the main CD's Positive Think that you would know if you've been following my page. This is when it transformed to being called Positive Thinks. So, Daily Positive Thinks, Express Believe Action with the new CD logo. This logo has kind of turned into my music logo as well. It's all about being happy, and yellow is the color of the sun, which to me is the source of happiness. Practice listening to and responding to others. 100% agree with this one. I watched an Emma Watson video recently, the podcast she did, and she was actually being good and asking the person who's interviewing her how he is as well. And it wasn't all about her. And I know interviews are all about the interviewee, but sometimes it's nice to be posed a question back to in all walks of life. So I do totally agree with this one. I'm still learning how to do this. If I'm really close with people in my life, sometimes they don't get this side of me, but the work side, the rate, like all the other stuff I do creative wise, they get this side of me. But the family life, I'm still a bit trying to clean up that, because I get really relaxed at home. Out in public, you got to be on, but at home you can be a little mean, and I don't like that, so I'm working on it. Yes, we are mortal, but don't let that scare you. Let it inspire you. Yeah, you know, some people like Callum, death is, you know, it's because you're 23, it doesn't seem that scary or far away. But the thing is, maybe I'll do this in 2 more years and let you know how I feel. But this one is like, yeah, I really don't, I'm not afraid to die. It's not something I'm scared of anymore. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. Yeah, I contended a lot with death as a kid. My nana told us that, you know, my parents were going to go to hell, and my brother and I used to say this thing to each other every night. Good night, I love you, see you in the morning, have a good sleep, anything else you want to say. And then we'd both end it by saying love. And this was basically our way of saying, in our sleep at night, we might die. So we want our last word to be love. And that's actually a song from my first album called Lonely Heart. Gashal is the name of the song, so please give that a listen if you can or care to. But yeah, I'm not scared to die, and I do feel inspired every day to be alive. All Black Lives fucking matter. Justice for George Floyd. Period. I'm not going to get into that. It's okay to be wrong. In fact, it's great. I agree, but not all the time. It's really annoying when you're wrong all the time. You got to do something about that. But it's okay to be wrong, and as long as you learn from it. Let's move on. You've got to be your own number one fan. Absolutely, totally agree. Sometimes in this world, no one fucking cares. So you have to more than anyone. You got to show the world why you're worth it. Toot your own horn, 100%. You have to. If you don't, no one else will. I still struggle with this in social settings. I never used to, so I'm trying to get that back. I actually got this from my old Subway manager. I won't say her name for privacy and legal reasons, but she told me to toot my own horn sometimes, and you know what, bitch? You do. What works for me may not work for you. Absolutely. I struggle accepting this fact because for me, it's like if you do exercises and if you sing in the shower, it's actually got chemicals that make you happy. But some people refuse, and that's not my life. So what works for me may not work for you. For the purposes of simplicity, I agree. Don't wait till someone gives you permission. Just do it. Totally agree. Totally agree. However, know your circumstance. If you're at work, you know, maybe ask. Or if you're at school, maybe ask. But if you're in your private life and, you know, just do it. You have to sometimes just do it, as long as you're not hurting anyone else or yourself. That's very important. Accept compliments with a thank you and a smile. Totally agree. 100%. It's really nice when you pay someone a compliment and they say, thank you, and proceed. If you accept compliments and go, Oh no, that wasn't good. People are going to start remembering that and they're going to say it. I struggle with this one. I'm not very good with this one. I used to be, so I would like to work on finding that again. But I love this one. You are allowed to love yourself. Absolutely, you have to. I'm learning to do it. I'm learning to embrace the gay. I'm learning to embrace the fun. I'm learning to embrace the straight, whatever you want it to be. You have to love yourself, and you have to love yourself every day. And it's a choice to love yourself, but do it for your heart. Encouraging tip. Tell yourself what you tell your friends. As long as you tell your friends good things, I totally agree with this. If at first you aren't successful, know you are truly growing. Yes, anytime you get on stage and you believe in something, and or you go into a meeting and you're not good, the next one you'll learn from it. Totally agree. The sky is not the limit. Push way beyond. Yeah, go for it. Do it. Push for those questions. As long as it doesn't hurt anyone or you, go for it. I have to remember this one too. Stick to your heart of hearts, or as I like to think of it now, stick to your truths. Yeah, I do. You have to dig deep and sometimes make the hard choices. Very important. Ignore all hate, only allow time for constructive criticism. Or these days, I call it constructive feedback. And yes, totally agree. If you have any question, be brave and ask 100%. I struggle with this because I sometimes want to do it myself. It's like a need to do things myself to prove. As a kid, I was very clumsy. So this is to prove to myself, not anyone else, that I can do it myself. But sometimes it's good to ask for questions. Ask those questions, get some answers, and you don't do it wrong. But always try to do it. At least get the basics yourself. Don't bother someone if you don't have to. If you agree with my positive things, repeat them out loud to yourself. Well, that is what we're doing today, and I think we'll end it there. And if you want a part two, because I've got another 2 goodies of these, plus half a book of this, then please, yes, let this create some discussion around yourself. What are the best positive things? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? And if you like any of them, remember to repeat the positive things out loud to yourself. Thank you for spending time with me, guys. Let's wait for part 2. I got some editing to do. Hi, just jumping in real quick to say if you liked any of my positive things and feel like you would be happy to share some of these to your friends and your family and the world at large, then please consider purchasing one of my Positive Things t-shirts. These are some of the quotes that I hand drew, and I really wanted that imperfect look because that's life, imperfect. So we got don't take silence as negativity. We haven't gotten to this one yet on the look through, but I still like this one. We've got your words have power, but you have power over your words. I love that one. We've got the one that you saw. It's not hard, just time consuming, which is this one. And then this one's my absolute favorite. How is the world supposed to see you if you don't show yourself? If you liked any of these t-shirts, please consider buying one and spreading the message even further. There are so many available. So head to my website at Calendrade Music Shopify and purchase one now. The link is on my Instagram page, and you can just see a bunch of cool stuff about my music, about all the fun stuff I've got coming up, music videos, shows. So please consider checking me out over there. And thanks for watching the video, guys. Positive Thinks is still very much alive within me, and I want to kind of bring it back. And if you guys are interested in the part 2, again, please let me know because I'd love to go through my thoughts with you and also see who here agrees with them or who has something to rebut, because that's really fun as well. So yeah, that's it from me. Bye. I don't know what that was, but Positive Thinks are designed about being imperfect again. So